Hello muggles and welcome to my very first travel vlog. I'm using the term travel loosely because we're only going from Oxford to London, which is only a few miles, but you know what, these days I'll take any trip I can get. Plus, London is one of my favorite cities in the world, so I'm super excited to go back and explore. Obviously it's gonna be a bit different. The last time I was in London was for my birthday back in January, so it's going to be interesting to see how things have changed since the pandemic, and obviously a lot of places are still closed, but we managed to find a few things to do which I'm very excited about. So I thought I'd bring you guys with me to explore the city with us and also to see how things are different now if you were maybe thinking of going there. So hopefully this vlog will give you some insight into that. So I'm super excited. I have some packing going on here in the background, so I still need to finish that up, and then we're going to head out, catch the bus and head to London.
We're on the train now, obviously wearing our face masks, and the train is about an hour, and then we'll be in London at Paddington Station.
So we just made it to Paddington Station. It's about 2 hours later now. So Paddington Station is like one of the big stations here where the trains come in, but you can also catch the underground here, so you can go on the London Tube. But our hotel is actually only 3 minutes away from here, so we're just gonna quickly walk over there and then check in. So we've made it to our hotel and we've checked in. It's quite a nice sized room for a super budget friendly hotel. This is one of the cheapest hotels we could find, but there's enough space for us to be comfortable. It has really nice high ceilings, and we have basically everything we need. Looks like a comfortable bed, so that's all you really need for a weekend in London. Another thing that's really cool is that we have a balcony. So we have this view outside, and it's also nice because it adds like a breeze to the room. It's really hot today in England. Actually, I think it's like 36 degrees, so I'm very happy that we have this huge window to have the breeze coming through. And we're also very central, but one thing that I noticed, like walking here, the streets were very quiet for London. It is the middle of the day on a Friday, so maybe people are still at work, or maybe it's just too hot to come outside, but I also think it's like a lack of international tourists. So it was quite interesting to see like a very central part of London so quiet. So the main activity for today is a tour of the Beef Eater Gin Distillery, and it includes a tasting, so we're very excited about that. We're probably just gonna head out for some lunch now and then go for the tour. So we're at the gin distillery now doing a tour, and it kind of starts with like the origins of gin, and then you kind of walk through this whole exhibition with all the history, and then at the end they're going to take us to a room, I think, where it's going to like show the process of actually making the gin, and then afterwards hopefully we get to taste some gin.
We actually did the tasting first, so they took us through all the botanicals that they add to the gin, and then we got to taste 3 different Beef Eater gins. Next they took us through the gin distillery, and this is actually the only Beef Eater gin distillery in the whole world, so all the gin you see in the shops across the world all comes from here, and I think that's pretty impressive. At the end we were served a B&T, which is a Beef Eater gin and tonic, and it was a perfect drink for the hot weather. Overall the experience was really cool, and I would definitely recommend it to any other gin lovers.
Good morning, so it's the next day and this is our first full day in the city, so we're very excited. Yesterday was so hot, so we're hoping that the weather calms down a little bit today, But despite the heat, we still had a really fun day exploring. After the gin distillery, we went to dinner in Chinatown, so we had dinner there and that was really nice. And then afterwards we kind of just walked around, and then we like stumbled across this kind of cocktail place. Can't remember the name, I'll Google that. And it was really cool. They had these cocktails that they make in a watermelon, and then they bring the watermelon to your table with a little tap on it, and then you drink the cocktail through the tap. So that was really nice, so refreshing, and something that I've never seen before. So that was really cool. So now we're just getting ready for our second day. We're probably just gonna head out, grab some breakfast now, and then we have a boat tour booked on the Thames River later this afternoon, and also we're gonna do the London Eye. So super excited about that, and just excited about a full day in London. We're ready and we're heading out for the day, going to get some breakfast now.
For breakfast we went to the super cute, super pink cafe. I'm not actually sure how to pronounce the name, but I'll also link the Instagram down below if you want to check it out. This was the one close to Harrods. So they do takeaways, but we decided to rather eat there, and this is like the seating areas are also very pink, very chic. And I had a red velvet latte, a sandwich, and then a rose macaron, all amazing. We're about to get on the boat cruise now, and it's going to take us down the River Thames, which flows through London, and there's actually quite a few significant buildings around the river. So that's Westminster Palace, and that's the Parliament building, so you see that on the news quite a lot. There's still a few other cool buildings coming up, so if you recognize any of them, let me know down in the comments.
So we just finished our boat cruise on the Thames. It was really hot though, a little bit too cramped for us, but it was quite interesting, and there was a little bit of a breeze, you know, on the water and stuff, and it was cool to see all the buildings from the water side. So it was a really cool experience, and now we're just taking a little bit of a break. We're sitting here under the London Eye.
Welcome to the last minute of Carl Station Eye. Are you ready to be part of London skyline? Whilst you're enjoying the amazing views, the ride might help you
Here we're at the very top of the London Eye, and let me tell you, this was the first time I was actually thankful for the hot and sunny weather, because even though it was unbearably hot, it also meant that we had a super clear view of the city. Felt like we could see the whole city in front of us. And some people might think it's a very touristy thing to do, but I would recommend that everyone does it at least once just to see this incredible view.
So we finished the Eye of London and we got some drinks now just to cool off, and we're on our way to a pub that claims to be, well, they claim to be here from the 1600s. So we're gonna try out the pub. Apparently they have the best fish and chips in town, so might get that for like an early dinner, late lunch, and probably have some more of these.
Okay, so they were not lying about the fish and chips. I mean, the chips were okay, but the fish was amazing. I had a burger, which was also pretty good, and finished it off with another gin.
So it's our last day in London and we're pretty sad about it. It's gone by so fast, but you know, we had a good time and we still have a bit of today. So we're gonna head out, look for some breakfast now. We thought we would get breakfast at the hotel, but because of social distancing, they can't actually open the breakfast area. So we're gonna head out, look for a nice place to have some breakfast and maybe some coffees, and then we're planning on doing the Museum of London later, so that's going to be pretty interesting too. So still a few things to do today before we head back this afternoon.
As you can see, we're at the Museum of London, and this museum is actually for free. You just need to book tickets to secure your slot because of COVID, so obviously they can't let too many people in at the same time. So it takes you through the history of London, and there's a lot of history to go through, and there's also a lot to read. I think if you read everything, you wouldn't be able to finish the museum in the day. So it was really interesting, but a bit overwhelming with all the information.
We just came out of the Museum of London, and then we just took like a walk down the road and we came across St. Paul's Cathedral, and it's so massive that I can't even fit it into the camera. It's like insane. I'll try to get a clip of it all, but it's crazy. And in the Museum of London they actually had a little bit of history of St. Paul's, and the building as it is now is like over 300 years old, but it's been, I think it was built in the 1600s, the first version of it, and then it burned down during the Great Fire of London. So it's just crazy to think how long this building has been here, and it's just like, it's insanely big. We're back in Oxford, and I can't believe the weekend went by so fast. We had an amazing time in London, but it's nice to be back home. I have to admit, like usually when I come back from London, I'm a lot more tired, but this time I actually feel a little bit relaxed. The atmosphere in London was definitely a lot different from previous visits, and I think that might be to do with people not going out as much yet and a lot of places still being closed. Some places were really busy, but it's definitely not as busy as it's been before. I hope you enjoyed the video, and hopefully you saw some places that you would like to explore yourself when you are in London. I would definitely recommend the Beef Eater Gin Distillery tour. That was really cool. And also definitely the London Eye. I just think the view was amazing. The area we stayed in was also really nice. I think it was called Sussex Gardens, and it was really close to Paddington Station, where we obviously got our train, so that was nice not having to carry our bags too far. And then also getting around, it's close to the underground, it's close to bus routes, so it's a really nice area. But it's also really close to Kensington Gardens if you want to take a stroll through there. So I would definitely recommend that area. There's a lot of nice restaurants as well, and a lot of hotels to choose from. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up down below. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, I upload new videos every week.
Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you're in the mood for some more quirky living, why not check out one of these videos here. Otherwise, I'll see you guys again next week with a new video.